Hey Rockers, Michael here from Essential Guitar Lessons, and let's learn how to play Good Riddance, Time of Your Life on guitar by Green Day. Another fairly easy guitar song. This is a great song for beginners, and as usual I'll break these into sections for you to make it easier to learn. We'll look at how to play the chords, the best way to transition between them, then I'll show you the different parts to the song and the strumming patterns, and how to arpeggio pick the chords. Then we'll finish with the structure of the song. Now the chords we'll be using are G, C add 9, D, E minor and C. So if you already know how to play these chords and can easily transition between them, jump ahead to the parts of the song. I'll leave the time in the description. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. Heaps of songs and lessons to come. If you're having any problems with this song, or there's a song you'd like to learn, leave a comment and I'll get back to you. So let's make a start with the chords. So our first chord is G, and the best way to get that is start with your third finger on the third fret on the B string, then place your little finger also on the third fret, but this time on the E string, then your second finger, third fret as well, but on the top E string, and then your first finger on the second fret on the A string, and that's our G chord. Then we have a C add 9, so from G that's really easy, and that's a transition we always use, G to C add 9. All you have to do is place your first and second finger down a string, and we don't play the top string there, and that's our C add 9. So now we have our second finger on the third fret, but this time on the A string, and our first finger on the second fret, but this time on the D string, and our third and fourth finger are still on the third fret from the G chord. We haven't changed them on the B and the E string, so really easy G, C add 9 there. Then we have our D chord, and the best way to get that, second finger, second fret on the bottom E string, then your first finger also on the second fret on the G string, and then your third finger, third fret on the B string. Don't play the E and the A string, and that's your D chord there. Then we have another really easy one, E minor, second finger, second fret on the A string, your third finger also on the second fret but on the D string there, and that's our E minor chord. The last one is C, and this can be a little bit tricky for beginners because we're now stretching over 3 frets. So we have our first finger, first fret on the B string, second finger, second fret, this time on the D string, and our third finger, third fret on the A string. Try not to play the top string there, and that's our C chord. So when you're doing your chords, try and get right on the tips of your fingers and to the front of the fret, or as close as you can get there. So let's have a look at the transitions now. So our first transition is G to C add 9, and as we said, that's a really easy one. We have our G, then we just have to put our first and second finger down a string, and we have C add 9 there. So really easy transition. Then we have C add 9 to D, and this is fairly easy as well. So C add 9, you can leave your third finger down, take your little finger off, and then place your second finger down and your first finger for your D chord. Don't play the E and the A string. So C add 9 to D, really easy, leave your third finger down the whole time. Then we have D to G. So again, we can leave our third finger down on the third fret on the B string. We have D, take your two fingers off, put your little finger on the bottom E string, and then place your second and first finger on there, and that's D to G. Then we have another really easy one, D to E minor. So we have our D, E minor, go straight for your second finger, then your third finger there. So D, E minor. Then again we have E minor to D, so another fairly easy transition there, E minor. Go straight for your second finger on the second fret on the bottom E string for your D, and then place your other two fingers down. So E minor, D there. Then we have D to C. So D, with this one, go for your first finger first on the first fret on the B string. So D, first finger, and then walk your other two fingers up for the C. So D to C there. Then we have C to G. So C, best way to get to G, go for your third and fourth finger first, and then your first and second finger at the top. So C to G. Then we have G to E minor, and it's another really easy one. G, E minor, go straight for your second finger, then your third finger. So G, E minor. And our last transition is E minor to G. So E minor, and as always, to get to G, go for your third and fourth finger first, and then your second and first finger there. So E minor to G there. Now, if you're new to chords, learn the parts to the song and just play them all with down strums. We're in 4/4 timing, so each bar will do 4 down strums there. Once you can do that, add in the strumming pattern. So now let's have a look at the parts of the song, the strumming patterns, and the arpeggio picking as well. So this is part 1, and we're going to call this verse 1. This first time through, we'll be using a combination of arpeggio picking and strumming as well. So we'll have G for 2 bars, C add 9 for a bar, and then D for a bar. So on our G, we're going to hit the root note first, and you can hit the string underneath as well, that's completely fine. So for our G, it's the top string there. So we hit our root note, then we do a down strum after that. So root note, down strum. Then we're going to hit the B and the G string. So we're just arpeggio picking those there. So we have root note, down strum, B, G. Then we do another down strum from the D string. So down and then up. Now if you hit the A string, that's fine as well. So we have G, root note, down, B, G, down, up. And that's the pattern we're using, and that's 1 bar there. So let's do our G slowly for 2 bars. So down. Then it's the same picking pattern, but we go to C add 9 now, and this time our root note's on the A string, so we don't play the E string. So root note, down strum, still pick the B and the G string, down strum from the D, and then the up strum. So, and then we have our D chord for 1 bar. This time our root note's on the D string, so we play that, down strum, pick our B and G, down strum, up strum. And that's our strumming pattern, and that's part 1, which we're calling verse 1. So it's really tricky when you first start doing that. So let's do that slowly, starting on the G for 2 bars. Let's do that up to speed. And that's our verse there, or verse 1. The next verse, it's the same chords, G, C add 9 and D, but we'll be using a strumming pattern. Now let's have a look at the pre-chorus 1. So this is part 2. This time we're starting on E minor, we'll be doing that for a bar, D for a bar, C for a bar, and G for a bar, and we'll be using that same strumming and arpeggio picking there. So E minor, root note on our top string this time. So root note, down strum, pick the B and the G, down, up. That's 1 bar, then we go to our D, root note again the same on the D string. Root note, down strum, B, G, down, up. C for a bar, this time our root note's on the A string, so, and then back to our G for a bar. So let's try that slowly now, starting on the E minor. D, C, and G. And let's do that one up to speed now. So E minor, D, C, and G. Root note on E is our top string. Root note for the D is our D string. Root note for the C is our A string. So up to speed. So that's our pre-chorus 1. Again, on the second pre-chorus, it's the same chord progression, but we're using a strumming pattern there. Now we have our chorus 1. This time the chords are E minor for a bar, G, E minor, G, E minor, and D, all for a bar, using the same strumming pattern with the arpeggio picking as well. So we have our E minor, our G, back to E minor for a bar, our G, E minor, and then our D. And let's try that up to speed so our root notes stay the same. E minor, top string, G, top string, and then our D string there. So let's do that up to speed. And that's our first chorus. Again, the second chorus is the same chord progression, but we'll be using a strumming pattern there. So now let's do the verse number 2 with the strumming pattern. So our verse 2 is the same chord progression, G for 2 bars, C add 9 for a bar, D for a bar, but now we're adding in a strumming pattern. So we're going to be using down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up. So a confusing pattern there. Let's do that again. Down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up. And again, down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now to give that a little bit more dynamics, on your first down, just hit the root note and the string underneath. So when I'm on my G chord, I'm going to play the top 2 strings on the first down. So down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up. And that equals 2 bars there. So on the G, we just play the pattern through once. So down, 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 up, down, 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 up. On the C add 9, play the root notes first, down, 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 up, down. So we're just doing half the pattern, then we go to D, up, down, down, up, down, up. So let's try that slowly. It's a really confusing pattern when you first start. So down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. C add 9, down, 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 up, down, and D, up, down, down, up, down, up. So between the C add 9 and the D, we're changing in the middle of that strumming pattern. So let's try that up to speed now. And again. And that's our verse 1, and we're using that same strumming pattern throughout the whole song. So then we have our pre-chorus 2. We have E minor, D, C, and G, all for a bar, same strumming pattern. So we can only use the root note on the E minor and the C, because that's the start of our strumming pattern. So we have E minor, down, 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 up, down, D, up, down, down, up, down, up, C, down, 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 up, down, and G, up, down, down, up, down, up. And that's our pre-chorus 2. So let's do that up to speed. Then our second chorus again stays the same as our first chorus, same chord progression, E minor, G, E minor, G, E minor, D, this time with the strumming pattern. So E minor, down, 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 up, down, G, up, down, down, up, down, up, E minor, down, 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 up, down, G, up, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, and finish on our D, up, down, down, up, down, up. So now let's try that up to speed. And again. And that's our second chorus. Now we have one more part, and we're going to call this the end, and he goes back to his arpeggio picking. So we have G, same pattern we did in the first verse, first pre-chorus, and the first chorus. So root note, down strum, B string, G string, down strum, up strum. Let's do that slowly. And the G again. C add 9 for 1 bar. Now on the last D, we'd play the root note, then the down strum. This time we play the B string once, we play the G string twice on the 2nd fret, so 2, 2. Take your first finger off, we play the G string again as an open, and then we just strum that G chord there. So on that D, root note, down strum, B, G, G, G open, and then G. So now let's do that slowly. Remember on the last D, we're playing the B string, the G string twice with the 2nd fret, and then an open. C at 9, and our D, finishing on our G chord there, and up to speed. Now he does slow this down towards the end of the song as well. Let's do that. And they're all our parts there. So our parts of the song are fairly easy. We do verse 1 with our strumming and arpeggio picking 4 times. We do pre-chorus 1 with our strumming and arpeggio picking 2 times. Then our chorus 1 for 1 again with our strumming and arpeggio picking. Then we go to our strumming pattern and we do verse 2 4 times, pre-chorus 2 2 times, chorus 2 1 time, and then we do that again. Our verse 2 4 times, our pre-chorus 2 2 times, our chorus 2 1 time. Then we go to our verse 2, we do that 2 times, our chorus 1 by 1, our verse 1 by 1, and then our end. With that first strumming and arpeggio picking pattern, just go slowly and build your speed up with that. If you're finding it too hard, you can play the whole song just with the strumming pattern, and that'll work as well. Now if you're having any problems or there's a song you'd like to learn, leave a comment. Give us a like and subscribe for heaps of free songs and lessons. Now if you would like step-by-step guitar lessons for beginners to advanced players and learn all the secrets to playing all your favourite songs and solos in no time, also heaps of free lessons, click the link below and jump onto Essential Guitar Lessons. So I hope you enjoyed this and I'll see you soon.